All right, we're live, and I think I have the audio problems figured out. My goodness. Welcome to Ride With Me. This is my ride home. I'm actually not going home. I have a meeting in the afternoon, but I'll be in the car for about a half hour. So I figured, let's try this again. 2 days in a row doing the show with, well, this morning I got a little bit of audio, but I learned a little DJI, my new mics from DJI, the DJI Mic 3. The Mic 2 worked really well with Bluetooth. This guy, not so much. So you have to actually use the little receiver USB-C into the phone. We live and we learn, but lots of topics going on in the world of marketing, sports marketing, uh, experience, all the things that I love to work in and spend my time. And a lot of our team's time is spent in all those spaces. So lots of stories to get to. The first one that I wanted to talk about, that I spent a good portion of this morning's ride talking about, we're going to do it again because I got zero content out of it for myself. So the audio just wasn't there. So let's see if this does better. But talking about AI creative, and there was a story in the sports business. In front office sports, who I really like their stuff. I think they do a really good job. They did a piece about AI creatives and the sort of where they sit today in the world. Do AI creators are feeling like, AI is not going to take over their role, but believes that there are teams and administrators in the sports world who do think that. I agree wholeheartedly. I don't think it's going to take over creative roles. And I do think that there are teams and executives that think it will replace some level of creative resources. So let's start there. I actually do believe that AI will replace a level of creative resource. That doesn't mean creative headcount. I think AI gives us the opportunity creatively to maybe get some of the lower tier work done, that takes up time, effort, and brain power from your in-house creatives. That if they could get that off their plate, it would free them up to do a lot of bigger projects, bigger thinking, more creative output, which I think is a great thing for everybody involved. I think executives and owners and leaders are constantly looking for ways to be efficient, constantly looking for ways to do more with less or do more with the same. AI is a tool to do that. Those who think it's going to be the answer to all of your problems hasn't spent a lot of time in there. Is it getting better every day? 100%, no doubt. But there's so much more to go. And I still believe that there will be a human input into this. The thing that always makes me laugh about these types of debates and discussions is history leaves us a ton of clues. You don't have to look very far to understand where this is going to go. I can't promise many things with certainty, with absolute certainty. Let me say that. I can feel very confident saying things certainly, but not absolute certainty. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, this is not going anywhere. So if you want to stick your head in the sand and pretend like this isn't going to affect you or impact your world, there's a few things to take into account there. I always enjoy, if you go back in time and we look at history, when radio came into the world, those in the newspaper business, those who were financially tied to the success of newspapers, tried to discredit radio and tried to say it wouldn't be the same. The written word is important. The written word, the written word, the written word. There's something about holding and reading and black and white. Radio will never be able to do that. Well, radio came in and carved its own way and provided more creative outlet. The family used to come around the radio on a Saturday night, listen to the programs that they could never get from holding a newspaper. Well, then radio was thriving, and then television came along. And everybody who was financially tied to radio tried to discredit television. Oh, television will never understand what radio has, and the creativity. Remember, half the beauty of this is using your imagination to imagine what's in the world, in the story. And television's going to take that away from you. Well, we all know what happened there. Fast forward, TV was upset with cable, and cable was discrediting streaming, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The humans will resist change at the beginning. They will. And those who are fearful of that change will try to discredit the innovation that is coming into the space. It's human nature. It's okay. Now, what we also, we're still going to evolve. So as much as you may want to resist and ignore the change, or say that it's not as good, or it needs the human touch and all these things, got it. But I promise you, as it gets better, as it continues to evolve, people will get more comfortable with it. You can do the same analogy game in music. I mean, the electric guitar is not a guitar. That's completely different. That is not music. Resistance. No, no, no. I play this type of music, and that's bad. That's bad over there. Well, time went by. Electric guitar was well received, celebrated, and all the things that go along with it. You can go through history, go through time, and find all these examples that when new technology, new innovation, especially in creativity, is introduced, the existing creatives resisted the change. I'm an artist. I hand paint and hand sketch, and I draw, and I do all these beautiful things. I would never do that on a computer. Here we are, right? You either evolve or dissolve. We talk about that all the time. And let me say this. If you found a way to resist that change and still provide for your lifestyle and for your needs, congratulations. Amazing. You've won. That's okay for you. But I'm talking to everybody else. I'm talking to the folks like me that need to make a living, that need to continuously be striving for what's next, driving for what's ahead. Ourselves and our careers, and in my case, and in many people's cases, our companies, in a position to continue to thrive. Resisting change is not going to get you there. Resisting innovation is not going to get you there. So you have to find a way to look at this new tool as just that. This is a tool in your toolbox, and it's on all of us to figure out how to best use that tool to provide results. Here's where I see AI design right now as an opportunity for creatives. I think it can streamline some production work. I think there's some amazing tools out there that allow you to batch content quickly, producing more volume of output. Now, with that being said, that's after all the heavy lifting's been done. So the heavy lifting, and then you're batching out production work. I think that can be done today. Is it perfect? No, but it's getting pretty close. It's pretty solid. The other thing that I think, by the way, what that does is if you can batch out and render out a bunch of production work, that frees you up as a creative to do a lot more higher level creative, and it buys you some time to produce better bigger projects. The second part that I think that it provides, and I'll give you a good example of this, but is the opportunity to reach creative spaces you may not have been able to get on your own. And I think that is beyond exciting. I think that is the part that gets me the most excited. These tools, this tool at your disposal, at all of our disposal, provides us an opportunity to reach further creatively than may have been possible before. So working with a creative who I respect immensely, and I think at the beginning, he and I, we're always trying to figure out early. We're always early. And we're always checking in on these things. And he was like, I don't know. And there's a whole bunch of stuff we got to get figured out, the legalities on this. So he and I were always been checking in on it. And we had a project and he worked on it with us. And I was like, man, that's some pretty wild stuff. He was like, yeah, I've been working on these tools. I want to show you what I did. And what was amazing was he had that initial resistance and less fear. He's not a fearful guy, more just thoughtfulness of like, what does this mean? Then he started figuring out, playing with it and doing the creative. What we realized was, what he saw along the way is on the bigger creative and the reaching further, it didn't save him any time. There was no time savings. So this is a different use of a tool. What it did do was allow him to create something that he would not have been capable of creating on his own in that time frame. He may have gotten there eventually, but in today's world of creative, hard to dedicate the amount of time to getting it to where he dreamt of it going. The dollars just wouldn't have been there before. And this tool allowed him to get there. That to me is an incredible opportunity in front of all of us. I think it's in all of our best interest to continue to educate those who are not in the day-to-day. And by the way, as a leader, if you're watching this and you're in the leadership space, it's on you to educate yourself on the pros and cons and the opportunities that do exist and the challenges that come along with those opportunities. It is not a fix-all to everything at this moment. It's none of those things, but it is a great advantage over where we were even just a year ago. So I am definitely defiant against those who are anti for the fact of being anti. The folks online who are not even in the creative space, who are rallying around all the creatives to go, yeah, don't use AI art. Don't use AI for this. If your art has an AI tag on it, then boo your team, boo your brand. You're anti-human. Come on. That might feel good in the moment. Oh, these people have my back. These people are great. These people love me. The first time something pushes beyond a limit that everybody gets beyond excited about and they forgot that it was AI is the first time they're going to forget about you. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I put this thing on. I was on TikTok and I did this thing, and it was that there's a trending song on TikTok that is it's a song about Puerto Rico, and it's first time in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and it is the catchiest jingle. I mean, it is an earworm like all earworms. It is stuck in your head once you hear it. And it's trending and it's viral and it's all these people singing it and dancing to it and showing their trip to Puerto Rico and celebrating Puerto Rico and celebrating this song. It's an AI song. The whole account that this comes from does a different city AI song to celebrate that place. They're awesome. They're very funny. They're very creative and they're catchy. So all these people that are going, oh, I would never listen to an AI song. I would never support AI content. I would never. Until something's really good that came out of it. And then they're like, well, maybe this is just one time, this is something different. So I never get too hung up on believing the support. They're genuine in their support, don't get me wrong, but to me, those are the same people telling the newspaper writer, no, 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 you got it right, buddy. I love my newspaper. You stay right where you are. We're going to continue to support you. Really? How's that working out? All those people who I'm never going to go online to get my news. I would never trust that. I trust my local paper. I can hold it. It's black and white. It comes from reporters that I trust. I would never go elsewhere. All those people believed it as well. It's not to say that the business is over. It's evolved immensely. It continues to decrease. It continues to consolidate. Sure, it felt good when everybody was rallying around all the newspaper writers to tell them that they were great and that people would never do that to you. Sure. Okay. They did. By the way, we're driving by one of my favorite spots right now. I don't know. I'm going to take you off here for a second so you can kind of, it's tough angle here, but we are in Del Mar going by Torrey Pines at the moment. Yeah, just insane. You can make it out, but just let's see. I'm gonna go out the window. Let's see if we can go out the window here. Let's go. Give you out the window. That is that's good stuff right there. That is worth it here in San Diego. Um, so yeah, I just caution anybody who is on the forefront of the I would nevers. As long as you feel confident that you can continue to support your life and your family in doing what you're doing, have at it. But my advice is to never say never and always be open to learning and exploring the new tools. And um, there are definitely pitfalls in using AI. Don't, it's not there yet, but to write it off is just scary. So, anyways, that's my AI rant. I'm I enjoy new technology. I enjoy new tools. I enjoy being challenged to learn them. So that's what I do with that. The last thing was I only have a few minutes left. Was referencing, it was on yesterday's show that I had no audio, so I'm going to give it to you here. It was around promotional giveaways. And if you saw over the weekend, the Baltimore Orioles did a fantastic job with their Tupac bobblehead. Love it. Love collaboration pieces like that. I love, um, you know, storylines woven through a baseball giveaway. And, one of the things that is really, I think, really important is the strategy behind giveaways. And so if you're in the sports space and, baseball, what started in minor league baseball was the dawn of really these, driving the number with these giveaways. Major League Baseball adopts it, and then came in theme games. The San Francisco Giants were the first big league team to roll out like a theme game campaign. I remember sitting in a meeting in baseball and probably 20, I don't know, 16 maybe, 2016, when the Giants showed us what they were doing around theme games and how they took a theme and then built an item into the theme and then had the show, the whole game presentation. And, they were able to go out and target a specific audience that may not have been a baseball audience, but bring them into the baseball environment around this collaboration. Love it. Brilliant. Really smart. Where it's gone from there to today is just incredible to see. And a lot of businesses are a part of that. It's really, really, really great. One of our partners at Quento is BDA. They are the biggest player in the promotional merchandise space. They are the promotional merchandise agency. They are a monster and they are incredible, great partners when I was on the team side, and now great partners of ours at Quento. So, you know, concepting around what the giveaway is going to be, concepting around how the theme is going to be built out, and then, you know, but the part of the strategy that I really love is around coupling a great theme and promotional giveaway strategy with actually executing, oh goodness, speed bumps here, man. Executing really strong experiential strategy. So imagine inviting somebody over to your house when it's not really show ready. Now, if you work hard and you get your house show ready and you invite people over, they want to come back. They want another chance to come back to that. So the magic in a really great promotional strategy is coupling it with a really strong experiential strategy. Because then you get the second, third, fourth games without a giveaway. So a fan comes out for Hello Kitty night at the ballpark. They've never been to a game before at your place. They love the food. They love the music. They love the energy. And they had a fun time watching baseball. Awesome. Now they want to come back. Had fun. Mom and dad had a great time. We want to go to do that more. They come back without Hello Kitty night and have just as much fun. Now you're getting game 3, 4, 5. This is where the magic comes in. Now, where people will start to discredit, don't have a great experience strategy, and they aren't offering an amazing game day experience. So they get the single shot on the sale on the premium night, and they don't get the second, third, fourth visit. And they're like, you know, the ROI on that giveaway was fine, but you know, the people came, you didn't do a good enough job paying it off, and they didn't want to come back. Whose fault is that? You can blame the giveaway all you want, but it's on you. You got to look at that. If you brought, call it 500, 1,000, 2,000, we did some giveaways, some theme night giveaways with 3,000 new fans brought into the game. Amazing. 3,000. And 90% of them came back for another game. Now you're on to something. But if you brought in 3,000 and 25% came back for another game, that's not the promo item's fault. You have an experience problem. That's just the facts. Numbers don't lie. Now, if you did the giveaway late in your season, there was no chance of them to come back. Well, that's a strategy problem. If you know you're doing an item that is going to target new fans, a completely different demographic for you, well, you can't throw that in at the end of the year because you're not going to get the residual effect on it. So there's so many things that come into play. I'm actually driving my car right now because I'm cutting through the back roads. I don't know why. It had me go around all this traffic in Del Mar. So there's like dips and all sorts of speed bumps back here. And my car, the self-driving does not do that very well. It does not see speed bumps, and it would not have seen that speed dip that I just went through right there. Anyways, all right, I am getting to my meeting. Hopefully this worked. Hopefully this recorded. I'm enjoying this. I don't know, you know, my wife asked me how many people watch, and I was like, oh, none. It's great. It's me talking to a camera by myself for 20 minutes a day, which is fine with me. You know, the content I'm spitting out of it is great. When there's audio, it does and works for me. But you know, I'm getting more comfortable talking into the camera. I'm getting more comfortable filling the time. There's a lot of prep that goes into it of just storylines and whatnot. But you know, for me, at this point in my career, I'm spending a lot of my days talking. I built a studio in my home and a studio at my office. That's basically what they are. They're studios. I sit in front of microphones and I talk about things and I share my opinions and I share my thoughts and I review work and share ways and ideas to help people drive more revenue. So I appreciate everybody who checks this out. Thank you so much. There's so much fun being had out there. Don't be afraid to try new tools. Don't be afraid to try new tactics and take a risk. And don't be afraid to come take a ride with me. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.